It become absolutely ubiquitous in our lives. But if it becomes poisonous, it becomes dirty, it becomes toxic. And this is the same when we begin to think about AI systems on lots of synthetic data and whatever. If nobody can drink from it, then everybody will just pull back from it to a point, and then what happens to the economy that's built on it? This is one of the things that I worry about. And even if that's, if you think about all the small businesses built on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Like gym trainers and, not like influencers, but like people that cooks and people selling their stuff or on WhatsApp.
They didn't ban TikTok. Because of the amount of businesses that were built on TikTok. There was a big outcrying when they were, the US regulators were going to do something with Facebook, and all of the small businesses pushed back and they lobbied for those changes, whatever they were, I can't remember, to be rolled back because there was a whole economy built around it. Same with TikTok.
Yeah, and if you look at even in Iran, the cost of the internet blackout that they've had during the war, it's one of the things that they've had the longest internet blackout that we've had since the history of the internet imposed on any country. And the daily cost of what's not been tracked as easily is how much of those businesses that would operate WhatsApp, cottage industries, people selling their cakes, people selling their different, or more significant industries, what's the economic cost? In total, we'll never get a handle on it because it's of the Iranian blackout during the last pretty much since January. I mean, it's like hundreds of days of blackout.
And to going back to the point about technology companies and their role in the politics of it all, who decided to black out Iranian internet?
That was the government did it. They should have.
Misinformation.
No, they just wanted to control the population. They wanted to control the population. They didn't want the population to have external sources of information. They didn't want external, influencers to try and be able to rise up the people and galvanize the people, or for the people to be able to communicate between themselves, to be able to, it sort of came about at times of the protests to sort of shut down those protests. So in this case, it was, and there was very limited capability because even with something like Starlink, however good it is, it's also dependent on having the receivers in place.
So couldn't have just said, I don't agree with the Iranian regime, quite rightly, I will turn the Starlink satellites on. Everyone now gets access to internet.
Well, there was an element of that was actually tried to a point, but you had two elements of that. One, that the Iranians were using very, very sophisticated jamming equipment provided by Russia. And so they were able to, so the signals, satellites are not perfect. And secondly, you still have to have the receivers. Same problem, a counterpart of that picture is in Ukraine, where Starlink receivers were being stolen by the Russians. So as they were making advances, were being stolen by the Russians. Okay. They were being fixed onto missiles to try and increase the range of the missile. So